Be sure to head on over to the new Discord community. Link is in the description. We talk both music and ponies and are currently looking to expand our mod team. Those with experience are welcome to apply. Alright, on to the video. Kevin the Black Queen here with an episode of Queen Reacts, and today we are getting to 6 more episodes of Cinemersons. This is Everything Wrong with My Little Pony by LittleshyFiM, with Season 7, Episodes 13 through, I believe, 19? And the ones we have here, we got a lot of notable ones. So we have The Perfect Pair. That's going to be dangerous to touch. Fame and Misfortune. That'll be pretty easy, I think. Triple Threat. Campfire Tales. To Change a Changeling. And Daring Done. Of course, like Perfect Pair, you're going to have to really clarify that this is not serious because people are going to take that episode very seriously. Fame and Misfortune also might be rather controversial, but like, just I guess depends on how you go after it. Triple Threat, definitely. I think you can probably think of just how pointless the conflict was. It really was just like, so like Twilight and Starlight just like making Spike worry about like how, oh, they're different, therefore they might go to war with each other. But yeah, Campfire Tales, you know, apart from the flighters, I hate those. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I liked the stories that they had told, and obviously it was gonna foreshadow to something, so probably gonna bring that up. But yeah, I can't think of too much wrong with the episode. To Change a Changeling, it'd be interesting to tackle that because I know that there is a bit of a hive mind mentality of like one person's not like us, you know, just like it'd be better to just kick them out and not have to deal with them. But like, I'm curious how he would go after that. And then you have Daring Done. I remember Somnambula. He's hot. I don't remember the rest. That's not true. I do remember the episode, but like, it'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and see how he ruins the best episode of the show, The Perfect Pair. In 3, 2, 1.
Would it be okay if we stop by again sometime?
Hear more stories.
Get some fanfic going.
Get some fanfic going.
Apple Bloom is handed a scone. We see one less on the plate. Then it magically respawns. These jars keep changing sizes. Random Background Pony is an expert at dropping exposition for all things related to the pear family. For some reason, this pair of reflections is not so perfect, since her hind leg movements aren't reflected properly. Granny sure takes her time walking down the stairs.
Also, Rarity's ass shot was the first ass shot in the show.
I'll go wash up for supper.
The toilet euphemism doesn't work so well when you're walking past the sink and heading towards the outhouse, Granny.
I'm gonna go wash my behind for supper.
Thank you.
Fun fact,
there's a lot of
associated with outhouses is a political holdover from disrespectful attitudes towards Nightmare Moon. Today, it's a sin against Best Princess.
Oh,
anytime Big Mac and I ever asked Granny about the feud, she'd get so upset she couldn't talk.
So why hide this from her if she's not going to have anything to say about it anyway? Either they snuck away without telling Granny, leaving her to worry about where every pony went, or Applejack told her something and wasn't very honest about it. Previously, we've seen a whole episode dedicated to the trip to get here, but this time it's just a quick crossfade. We saw the same thing for Canterlot. That's just what happens when you unlock fast travel. Every pony is cagey about discussing the pear farm, but the carrot farm is the real mystery no pony will address.
Yeah.
Smoking cutie mark. You know, for kids.
Oh, wow.
These babies don't have main character eyes, so you can tell they're not long for this world.
I'd need volume 138. I'm sure I could wrangle it.
That's all right, Goldie.
The siblings spent a lot of time traveling here, but are ready to turn and head home after a couple minutes of chatting. You'd think their mission would be getting this book now. Especially since the cat isn't even on the book in the next shot.
Burnt Oak? I haven't seen him in
Terrible
ages.
name.
Applejack must not get out much, because we saw him in the market 4 seconds into the episode. Elderly pony falls, and no pony even turns around to see if he's
she probably just has Apple Bloom do all the shopping.
To ask about your dad?
No,
but thanks for the reminder of our dead parents. He said that in Brony's React.
Pear butt distraction.
Nice.
If that's not a sin, nothing is. Grandpear has no reason to think she had something to do with it, unless she's just known for being reckless and breaking stuff. Also, he must have gone blind at a young age to have not seen these two. Pear Butt's excuse is that she had her back turned, but he had a perfect view of this
It is in her name.
Destroys property. trespasses, and doesn't even have the consideration to apologize.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh, Applejack?
Except for when it needs to justify some pony making a discovery out in the middle of a clearing some distance from the tree. Don't mind the background, Twilight. She's just making her contractually obligated 12-frame appearance. This assortment of candy hasn't moved for generations. Throwing in the eggs with shells isn't a sin, and throwing in the packaging for the flour and sugar isn't either. No. Throwing in a glass bottle and making ponies eat that is downright diabolical. Pearbutt rudely dips her hoof in the batter, risking Sugar Cube Corner shut down by the health department. How dare she almost make Pinkie Pie homeless in the distant future? Pearbutt is redundant here. She's just getting in the way to appear useful. Pearbutt has been manipulating the local bakery to put pears in everything and increase pear market share, using a partially open stepladder.
One day, I wanted to surprise her with a cake.
Not much of a surprise considering she helped make that one herself.
A ladder.
Fun fact, in Equestria,
a couple
ponies
times
kiss
actually
by hovering their lips inches away for an extended period of time.
Happy 131,400.
I love ponies kissing.
Our anniversary, darling.
They only do it during the wedding
episodes.
episodes.
Ever had to confirmation of a pony's age. Pearbutt apparently keeps this guitar inside her comparatively tiny saddlebag. Obligatory playing instrument without finger sin. Obligatory he sent her a tweet sin.
I know we are the perfect pair.
Obligatory roll credits sin. What is it with Ponyville and putting random obstacles in the middle of the road?
We're moving to Vancouver?
Vancouver's not so bad. After all, they apparently have a great animation studio.
Yeah,
Of
DHX.
all the red flags to look for in a relationship,
could have either said that or Vancouver,
the ceremony is
the
probably
convention.
one of them. The parents just happen to take a stroll to the edge of their farms in the middle of the night.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that he
How
already started
inconvenient for
growing
these
hair,
two.
like
We'll
a
be
mustache or
married as soon as Mayor
beard,
Mayor says.
stubble.
Mayor Mayor is the eternal mayor, also known as a dictator.
Oh, can I call you Grandpa Pear?
There must be some lingering
Grandpa
symptoms of cutie pox.
is already grandpa. Yeah,
We
see?
never really have 100%
I knew French.
confirmation
Also, same thing with
parents are actually
grandmère.
Dead, do we?
Grandmère
We might even be able
is
to
French
speculate
for
about them being off on
grandmother.
some trip or trapped in some magical stasis spell somewhere.
Fuck Scooter's
If it weren't
parents.
for this leaked email from Hasbro, that is.
What was that? Shit. Okay, we'll have to go back and reread that.
To know your mom, real intimate.
It's too fast.
Glad you're back, Sugar Cube. Just in time for breakfast for dinner.
Bright Mac was leaving me in the dust. He would have won.
I love
too
his
if he wasn't
design,
so
Burnt Oak.
distracted.
Nice. Same. Oh my gosh. Okay, I know there's nothing after this. So I'm actually just gonna go back and read that because I do want to see like what that's about. Okay. That could mean A, they're either on an extended holiday, or B, their slowly decaying corpses are being devoured by insects and vermin in a Ponyville cemetery. God damn! Spoiler alert, it's option B. Yeah, it's I don't really like consider like outside confirmation like hard canon. I always consider that B canon because there's A canon, B canon. That's like A canon's anything that's like directly said in the show, and then B canon is like all the other stuff. So like marketing material and games, social media posts and stuff. Because if we're gonna take like say this as objective canon, then we also have to take into account the many ridiculous things that Lauren Faust has jokingly said because she's the authority. So yeah, it's not the Catholic Church. She's not infallible. Anyways, that's pretty fun. Next thing we got is Fame and Misfortune in 3, 2, 1.
Rarity, what are you wearing? My emotions, darling. Stress couture.
These fillies are unicorns one moment, Pegasi the next.
Oh.
Most of Twilight's friendship lesson is off-screen because her lessons are just too good for us humans to comprehend, apparently.
Friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth.
What episode was that from? I do remember it's from another one.
Fighting. You're sending mixed signals, Twilight. Do we fight or not?
Yeah. I never realized
How many
that.
levels of self-referential meta can we go? Twilight realizes her own lessons are starting to repeat themselves in an episode about developing an unexpected fandom which criticizes them for repeating themselves, aka Seasonal Rot the episode. Sweet
AKA
Celestia, Twilight, what did you
LittleshyFiM.
do to this book? It was fine the last time we saw it, and we know it wasn't in Golden Oak due to the lack of burns and having seen it safely in the old castle. This book abuse is so unbecoming of Book Horse.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Twilight was so eager to
I mean,
use
it probably
that
also
famous
could have been
book-related line,
Applejack
she
putting an
accuses
apple in
Starlight
there
of
that
judging,
attracted
when really
like
she was just just inquiring to learn more.
Friendship isn't
Bookworms
always
and
easy,
stuff.
but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for.
Twilight quotes this line from the beginning of Season 2,
Oh,
but the first
I
journal
see.
entry wasn't until Season 4. Look at those misfortunate
yeah.
peasants riding the train. Twilight here gets to ride in her own personal hot air balloon by leveraging her horse fame. This seems like a very inefficient way to meet. How long does it take for every pony to assemble? At least the map was smart enough to use magical pagers.
I've got a surprise for you.
What is it, Twilight? Do I need to prepare myself?
Who hurt you, Fluttershy? Why does she have PTSD from whatever Twilight's last surprise was?
That's a question.
Twilight Kane predates the book and has no reason to be in here. We know Discord had some time with the journal, but that just raises questions about whether or not making a
She's
copy for
asking for a
distribution was a
trigger
good
warning.
idea. Speaking of journal inconsistencies, most of the entries are not even in chronological order, suggesting they skipped around randomly and left blank pages on purpose. Hooves appear to stick on the surface of a page to turn it, which certainly complicates existing cartoon hoof lore, unless you subscribe to the suction cup theory. This was the moment the false advertising class action lawsuit really gained steam, because the actual book does not in fact shoot confetti or contain free apples.
I see.
You wouldn't download a journal. But seriously,
Oh.
a duplication spell which could be used for solving all sorts of problems, but isn't, because then an episode couldn't happen, is right up there with the time Twilight changed their species out of nowhere. If only Starlight thought to use her spell during the crystalling. That book had a hole in it, but at least the pages weren't melting.
Amazing.
True.
A perfect copy.
No, Applejack, these aren't
Yeah,
perfect
Starlight
copies.
knew this.
If they were perfect copies, they'd be as tattered and as torn as the original. No, these are AI upscales. Unicorns are still OP.
Cheese sandwich! Party cannon!
Yeah.
Pinky's journal entries are nothing more than random word associations.
I feel like Ellie and Larson kind of did this on
How would you girls
purpose.
feel about making our
Just
journal available for
Making them
everyone?
all
Our
say like
stories
their
are so
most
marketable that
recognizable
we can
words.
make tons of money. Maybe we'll even get a TV show someday. But remember,
Cocky.
only the royals get the royalties. Pegasus Apple Vendor raises many questions. Is this Applejack's competition, or is this merely a distributor for the Earth Ponies
Looks
to
like
reach the
Brayburn.
Cloudsdale market? Either way, it's cultural appropriation. Only Pegasi can walk on clouds, but how do structures
I like her.
and
She looks
furniture
cute.
work? Maybe it's okay if a Pegasus crafts it or touches it first? Why doesn't Cloudsdale build a floor or boardwalk of some kind? Do they just hate non-wingies that much?
Non-wingies.
Theme.
Sounds
Twilight
so
makes these
racist.
fillies and colts line up to receive a book when more advanced technology, like a table, would suffice. What a nice playground. It would be a shame if it were caught in
True.
a quantum superposition of existing
didn't
and
need to
not
have to
existing
do
at
all
the same time. Applebloom explains the journal is making them
Hey, it's,
popular, and she wants to start a Cutie Mark summer camp to help others. Twilight's
Chip
reaction
cutter,
is
I think.
strangely negative. Maybe she's just jealous Applebloom has more followers on TikTok? Twilight trolls these fans by autographing random pages in the middle of the book. This guy grabs the book without
He's got
using his horn at
earrings.
first.
got-
Twilight is quick to criticize Applebloom for enjoying the attention the
Soren's
book
earrings
brings, but
from
she herself
Sensation.
will hide behind a bush to eavesdrop on ponies talking about it. It was a cop-out to skip over Twilight's lesson in the beginning, but cutting away just before Starlight annihilates these two is the ultimate cliffhanger. Twilight's
Yeah,
nod is
I
definitely
I
royal
wanted to see
approval
what
for a
happened
public
there.
execution.
Tell us again about when you met Dowing Do.
Damn,
You
we
mean
do.
that fictional character written by A.K. Yearling is actually a real pony?
Yeah.
Somehow this earth-shattering revelation about a character that has her own convention isn't what the whole episode is about? Gee, I wonder what A.K. Yearling thinks about all
Yeah.
this.
We want to know why Fluttershy keeps learning the same thing over and over again. Be
That guy's
assertive
main.
already.
the
This
front shape
surface-level
is-
criticism contrasts
The side's
pretty well
actually
with the
worse.
reality of Fluttershy lacking assertiveness while alone, but standing up for herself once friends arrive. The sin is for surface-level criticism kind of being the whole thing here,
Steppity.
both in the episode and right here. Unicorns grabbing ponies with magic still isn't legally classified as assault. Or maybe Starlight's just immune because no prison could contain her.
Every pony in Equestria is missing the friendship part of the friendship journals.
Except for that
Twilight
one, but she
generalizes
still
the
got out.
entirety of
Actually,
Equestria
2 of them,
because
but
she
she still got
encountered
out.
15 rude ponies today, and most of those were children and locals.
Noi!
I suddenly understood why I've been getting cancellations for days.
You merely adopted the
Rarity.
cancel culture. Rarity was born in it, molded by it.
I need 100 blankets, and I need them now.
Right away, pony who still likes me.
Applejack liking Rarity is still more canon than Appledash.
You go ahead. I'll stay here.
Starlight knows the difference
My
between
man.
a hard work kind of problem and a bowl of ice cream kind of problem when she sees it.
I don't need to say
Wish
it.
we'd never released that journal.
Since the journal is a not-so-subtle analogy for the show itself, the weight behind Twilight's statement is the show's true shark-jumping moment. Starlight slams the doors with enough force to break wood, and possibly some background pony legs too.
Yeah.
I want to be funny all the time. My days of
joke needing to be funny is a perpetual loop of unfunny.
I can't even go to the bathroom without some fool trying to tell me how cool
That
I
voice
am.
crack.
Ponies use bathrooms.
I mean, she always has
confirmed.
voice crack.
Rest in peace,
Also,
Lauren Faust's original vision.
exactly.
Guy who
There are no
shares Twilight's
bathrooms.
cutie
You gotta
mark
take
is
that as
actually
canon.
Team Pinkie Pie. That's a sin on behalf of an unfair universe.
I moved here to
I
learn
just saw
about
that,
friendship.
Twilight moved here because she was tricked into supervising an
True.
event and later convinced to stay despite her hesitance to
True.
make friends.
She was heavily
You
manipulated.
know, pretty much the opposite of what she's claiming now.
Each of these ponies standing next to me.
Twilight is very careful with her words to exclude the non-standing brash blue Pegasus. Leave it to the in-universe best pony arguments to cause division and strife, when in reality, fighting over who is best pony is humanity at its most productive and harmonious. Speaking of best pony, this episode lacks realism
Also,
because
isn't
we all
Caramel-
know
no,
Derpy
Caramel's
should
not part
have
of the
the
Apple
most
family.
fans. This is a good moment to bring up the fact that this episode aired live during BronyCon.
Twilight was better before she got wings.
Wow.
There's
Really?
no way they could have planned it, but this of all episodes just happening to air at that time is truly sinful.
That is
If
kind of
one
funny,
good
though.
thing came from this episode, it's confirmation of what we've known all along, that fictional ponies are actually real.
We are real ponies.
Yay!
Funnier in real life.
Yay!
Journal is
Let's
a record of
go!
things that actually happened to us.
I do have some shit to say about it, though.
I don't even know what this is.
It's a big book. Why is it so big
That's
to
a
her?
book, Don.
Nice.
I'm going after her. Go ahead. I'm
Oh.
gonna have a chat with these
We're gonna
two.
see what finally happens. Oh my god. I used that clip in a video of mine with the Discord thumbnail. Y'all should check it out. It's pretty good. I do want to say, so Fame and Misfortune, I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Fame and Misfortune, there's some problems with how it's trying to like point itself towards the situation between like the creators and the fans. The criticism that like you can't criticize this book because it's just a real record of events doesn't work if you're trying to compare it to the show, which is fiction. So like the creators trying to like self-insert them as the main cast, and Twilight saying we are real ponies. This is a record of things that really happened to us. If you're trying to make the point that bronies are in the wrong for criticizing the show, which is what I'm doing right now, by the way, the example that you're using is not comparable because one is clearly fiction and the other one is supposed to be real in that universe. That's like criticizing the Book of Luke versus criticizing Star Wars. Like the episode itself, it tried to make a certain statement. I don't even think Emily Larson was in on how he said that he wasn't in on how harsh it ended up being. Like he had to rewrite the episode because it wasn't like harsh enough, and he wasn't exactly thrilled with it from what we could tell. So yeah, that's my take on Fame and Misfortune. I do like the episode, but there's an asterisk to that like. We're going to go ahead and get to the next one. That's enough rambling on that. This one is Triple Threat in 3, 2, 1. Time for some Ember and Thorax. Steve.
You're getting yourself worked up for no reason. The dragons are trying to be friends, but competing
no,
is in
I'm
their
not gonna
nature,
say
and
it.
it's leading to more and more fights.
Their entire society is built upon this nature and has been for generations, but it's about time ponies got involved and overhauled their civilization to be more like us.
You invited Thorax
Israel.
to Ponyville on the same day as Ember?
Apparently.
This episode turns
Apparently.
the typical Spike episode formula on its head, not by getting rid of his proclivity to make unreasonable decisions, but by making them off-screen. Fun fact, the Friendship Express used to have only 1 pony per train car. They have since tripled that occupancy to 1 pony per window because of the threat to their ticket sales. This simple episode about Spike inviting 2 friends over the same day escalates without explanation into fear of a war between civilizations. This scene between Spike and Thorax lasts for such a long amount of time that it makes you
Ember's
wonder,
really
why
slow.
is Ember flying in a holding pattern above them to wait it out? Thorax's vent is cut off suddenly because the editor of this episode is tired of hearing him complain.
And it might be affecting my sleeping too. I'm a real tosser and turner.
This pony's levitation magic levitates her magic levitation sparkles. Spike just got done describing dragons as tough and intimidating, but greets Ember with a warm Ponyville welcome, complete with friendly hug all the same. In the span of about a minute, the episode debunks its own plot by not having her declare war on Ponyville for this. These trumpets disappear one shot later.
Really gonna have to get used to these pony names. Lots of lights and shiny things.
Dragon names are a lot more similar than pony names. Smolder, Ember, Torch, Cinder, Scales, Spike, for example.
Yeah,
the difference is that
it's all
ponies
about
have
skin.
more syllables, so if you combine all those dragon names, it's actually just 2 random background ponies.
Smolder, Ember, Torch. I didn't see the
Ember
others.
is pulling way more weight than Spike when it comes to being a friendship ambassador to the dragons.
Do you have a stomachache?
I have indigestion.
That's 2 references to digestive problems in a row. That's definitely a self-insert of a rider with a tummy ache.
Interesting.
We hear Spike close the door behind him, then see it open.
Why did you bring Ember to the castle of all places?
I don't know.
Spike comes as close as he possibly can to admitting that weird things and bad decisions tend to just happen around him for no reason, as if an all-powerful entity writes him into unrealistic situations of conflict and deceit for the heck of it.
Yeah.
All we have to do is make both Thorax and Ember feel special and keep them apart for a few more hours.
Twilight has to know this is a dumb, nonsensical idea, but she's got a front row seat to a Spike episode and she's not going to waste it. Back in the day, the map was used to summon and send characters off on grand adventures. Now it's paging Spike from 10 feet away to solve a problem right here in Ponyville with a solution obvious to everyone watching.
Yeah.
Nope, just one glowing Spike.
You two need to keep
If anything,
separate while I get ice cream.
For being known as such smart and powerful leaders, these two sure do fail
If anything, the map made it
spectacularly at
harder
this
for
very
him.
simple task. When did Spike stop glowing? Normally, a character stops glowing once they reach the map and are assigned a mission, but Spike was at the map when this started. Unlike ponies, whose plots conveniently glow, Spike glows because of plot convenience. This
I knew he was
OSHA
gonna say
violation
that.
claims the life of
I
at
could have
least
called
one
it.
worker. Bon
Oh,
Bon
shit.
doesn't have a credit in this episode, and this was probably Ashley Ball who voices Lyra, meaning Bon Bon's list of different voices continues to grow all these years later. Twilight forgets she
put
has
this
a
in my
horn,
bag?
opens the door the more
I fucking
traditional
love
pony
that
way,
voice.
with her face.
That's
This
the Friendship
random
is
hug
Witchcraft one,
seems
but still.
unusual for Twilight, but she knows, we know, the episode knows, Ember needs to establish this is unusual for her too. Both Twilight and Starlight are strangely unhelpful and unwilling to explain things to the other 2 visitors. At least Starlight has the excuse of not explaining because her mouth disappears.
Here's my problem. There's this renegade group of changelings who still feed off of...
That would have been a better
That is indeed
episode.
A problem for everyone who would have preferred to see that episode.
This is how we've been doing things
Yeah.
for hundreds of years. It's
Fascinating piece of changeling lore is almost lost in the crossfade.
It's like
the joke is that
it's like in
Ember thinks it's a
PPOV,
pony custom to give friends food
where Rainbow
made
and
into
Fluttershy
walls,
apparently
but
had
this
a
muffin was taken, not given
flight
to
school
Derpy,
reunion,
and
but
certainly
instead
not
we got
acting in a
PPOV.
structural capacity. Derpy is wasted on a nonsensical fan service scene.
Poor Derpy.
But also, Derpy!
Derpy!
Starlight and Twilight get pretty upset about being mixed up, but that's just because they're ableist and don't have any consideration for dragon color blindness.
Ah, I see.
Place, you both ordered muffins.
It's a good thing Derpy already had her scene in this episode, because if she was the one ordering muffins and receiving these cupcakes, Ponyville would be burned to the ground.
Okay.
They look
that
kind of
ought to have done
hairy.
it. Come on, Spikes. Glow.
Spike has spines, not spikes. Maybe if he addressed them properly, they would have listened. Thorax immediately
So his name
resorts
should have
to
been Spine.
violence without asking questions.
That is
because
true.
This
That's-
is very
that's-
much in line with his established
Yeah,
character.
it's
No, wait, that's the
That's the opposite, yeah.
Also, you should probably recognize this dragon as the one they made an ice statue of. Friendship is Magic is the best anime. This infinite and imminent clash, traversing
never
the span of just a
questioned
few
the ice
steps,
statue.
proves it.
This
Starlight
is so
Sparkle must be
stupid.
pretty
They were
disappointed
literally
Spike
like
interrupted their
3
show,
feet away
because
from
if
each
they
other.
didn't want this fight to go down, they could have just stopped it with ease. Ember doesn't notice Thorax's transformation or question why the bear disappeared.
I accidentally invited you both over to Ponyville on the same day?
So what?
Episode Self-Sin.
I can say I'm bad at friendship. You can't say it about me.
This is accurate, but this is also
Okay, I'm not
hypocritical
gonna say the
because she
thing.
just made the same accurate accusation about Spike moments ago. Ember and Thorax sharing this quiet moment followed by confronting Spike together
This is the best
harshest
scene.
whiplash of the show. Giving us such a nice moment at the tail end of a frustrating Spike episode is definitely a sin, and not just an excuse for a compliment.
You're the leader for a reason.
It's a
This
compliment.
earth-shattering statement suggests Thorax became
Oh.
leader for an actual reason, and not because Celestia assumed so on a whim and no pony wanted to question her.
Let it be known that the decision is final. And if that doesn't work, turn into a bear.
That's good advice.
Good advice indeed. After all, historically, all of the best leaders ruled by force. On this day, unicorns became a little bit less special. The idea of magically glowing on a whim used to be a special trick only those with a horn could do. But now, even Spike is capable of making himself glow by solving a problem he needlessly created himself.
Yeah, the universe really just was like, you fucked up, so now you gotta pay for it. Only you. No one else has to do this. Well, except Starlight and Sunburst, I guess. Oh.
Sure.
I totally missed that. I'm sorry. Oh, I'll rewatch it. What? Oh, I see. I see. It's Daisy. Just like it's the transition. That's funny. Definitely the middle of that episode, like towards the end, with Thorax and Ember. That was like the best part of the episode. It is like such a good scene. Compared to the rest of it, if the episode didn't have that scene, it would have been like one of the worst of the season. I do think that is like one of the best scenes of the series. No, I'll say season. I'll say of the season, but it's just kind of landed in a stupid episode. But yeah, we got Campfire Tales up next. Everything wrong with at least. 3, 2, 1. And this is in 5 minutes.
Good enough to eat.
Berries.
They're extremely poisonous.
Wow.
With the way they are pulling this rope, Apple Bloom is holding all of the weight, and Applejack is fighting against her.
True.
Light thingies?
Those light thingies definitely weren't here a second ago. Upon first glance, it appears Scootaloo is jump scared by a leaf, but in reality, she's scared by this random cave sneaking up on her.
This is gonna be the best big sister/little sister camping trip ever!
No, Sweetie Belle,
just say
you're only
sister.
2 minutes into the episode.
Oh.
Your situational irony is our dramatic irony. This campy theme song. In any other episode, the Flighters would be a non-issue for the main cast to overcome before the opening theme. Applejack would have a practical solution like bug spray. Rarity's magic could offer any number of solutions, including just grabbing them like she grabs sequins. And we've seen Dash take on similar pests back in Season 1.
Yeah.
Scootaloo's feathers can feel this bite and therefore are not made of feathers.
Gliders are from the Luna Bay area. Never seen them this
Luna
far
Bay.
east, though. Probably attracted to the food.
Applejack was never taught geography and
Luna
suggests
Bay.
the bug smelled food from the other side of the continent.
Oh, apple rot!
Language.
We had games to play and marshmallows to roast at
That's a
camp.
bad
There's
word.
no need to be rude, Apple Bloom. Rarity is standing right here.
I was thinking more like campfire stories.
Roll acknowledgements. Surprisingly, standing downrange of the axe-throwing area is not the only time Rockhoof will try to kill himself. Ridiculously shiny shovel. Villagers
pretty
not only
dark, though.
choose to stay here and die with their village, but choose to do so needlessly when so much higher ground exists. There are ponies below deck rowing, but there's no hatch for them to get out. They just live down there for the life of the ship. This pony appears to be giving pointless orders. You, stand over there and wait to die. You, stand over there and wait to die. Deus Ex Shovel. Nothing about this is explained. We can speculate about some
Reminds me
connection
of,
to the elements of harmony all day long, but then we'd be doing a day's worth of work more in this episode. We can date the age of this shovel to the late 90s by its blurry dial-up connection image quality.
Oh shit.
These two were the only ones smart enough to leave and magical enough to teleport back, apparently. Rainbow dashes into existence. Wake up, babe. A new wavy mane pony just dropped. But seriously, a unicorn with beauty magic gets a flowing mane, while the alicorn of love doesn't? Moral of the story? Outward beauty is more powerful than love itself. Mistmane's tail runs out of batteries.
What happened here?
The Empress happened. She makes every pony work day and
I
night.
wonder if she's related to
Thanks,
the
random NPC villager put here by
I
the
wonder
game
if
developer to give us all the exposition at once.
Sassy Saddles is related to this race.
Anything else?
The CMC randomly interrupt the story just to sin it, complete with unfunny joke.
I've seen the way you two get when you miss breakfast. If some pony told me either one of you two gone evil.
Yeah, gone evil. It just happens sometimes. Some pony else helps Mistmane carry this flower, because her horn sure isn't.
One of them went on
She
to
could have
4chan.
just waited to
never
grow
turned
some
back.
flowers normally and rebuild over time. Maybe she's actually the element of impatience to do this to herself instead of just waiting like a normal pony. As bright as this light is, it's still not enough light to overcome the default cartoon circle shadow. The only reason these guards obey a dictator is because they're blank flanks with nothing better to do with their lives.
Oh,
Well,
Nice
like
butts,
it or
though.
not, We're fruit too.
Now is not the time for your unsolicited thoughts on mortality, AJ. Remember, kids, if you're ever sealed in an unexplored cave and you're worried about surviving without food, you can end your suffering long before starvation by lighting a fire and depleting your oxygen. Although, to be fair, with how much light there is in here before the fire's lit, there's probably a gaping view of the sky above them no ponies noticed. Good job, Applejack. That's enough kindling to last 5 more seconds. In the last camping episode, referenced so frequently in this one, Scootaloo's concerns stem from her fear of abandonment and resulting sleep deprivation. She overcomes this after Rainbow Dash becomes her honorary big sister and assures her some pony is there for her. In this episode, Scootaloo's fears are played off as a joke and are completely justified, as every pony's lives are at stake and none of the adults around her are capable of helping, nor do they seem to have any sense of self-preservation. Fun fact. Scootaloo possesses a natural defense mechanism in response to fear. It makes her grow extra legs to run away faster.
Commander was right.
Flash Magnus!
Fat dragons.
Applebloom interrupts the story again to weigh in with her own extensive dragon fighting expertise.
Come and get me, fire breath!
Flash Magnus is not very smart if he thinks that would be interpreted by a dragon as anything other than a compliment.
While Flash Magnus bravely flew for his life.
It is not a very brave-sounding sentence. Rainbow Dash forgets Commander Ironhead's name for a moment.
Commander Ironhead.
A Pegasi group hug sounds like a complicated social custom at best or a disaster at worst. Human hugs cease when they become awkward enough for someone to lower an arm,
this.
But Pegasi hugs cease when they begin to plummet to their deaths in an airborne crowd crush. Also, this guy reproduces by mitosis. Being able to fly while saluting retcons not being able to fly with an injured wing. Leaping into random underground currents is probably the most dangerous and most terrifying thing you could ever do, even with training in scuba gear. Typical tourist, picking every flower they see.
I've seen what that cave was about. I think I've watched some videos about it. My laser! Thank you. It's 2011 again. Okay. Minecraft, I see. Gay mare. Nice. Gay stallions are better. Alrighty. That was fun. Next one we got is to change a changeling. Do I have anything to say about the previous one? I don't know. I don't think so. I just like hearing the stories. 3, 2, 1. 11 years! Speaking of which, my 10-year anniversary of the first video on my channel is coming up.
Trixie is actually Derpy in disguise.
I think 4
Starlight
days.
spends the next couple of minutes telling Trixie what she already knows, just in case a third-party observer is trying to catch up.
Yeah, I know.
She also explains that since the changelings became good, the plants have even grown back. Because everyone knows plants can't grow in the presence of evilness. Maybe Pharynx does have a sense of humor. After all, he scares Trixie with impeccable comedic timing for 0 tactical advantage. Fun fact. Pharynx has an identical twin, but only in this shot and only directly behind him. Not even 9 seasons could cause this theme music to change. Changelings can take on any appearance they want, and yet many still choose to look just like Thorax.
Did.
So you could deal with all the renegade changelings who didn't want to change.
I was able to convince all of them to change, except one of them.
Renegade changelings who didn't want to change sounds like one of the coolest episodes we could have gotten this season, so naturally it all happened off screen.
I looked better with holes.
So did the changelings.
I knew he was gonna say it.
Intimidating to our enemies.
This changeling isn't even fuchsia.
I don't take advice from ponies. The only thing I take from you is breakfast. At least I used to.
If Pharynx has gone all this time without sharing love and still needs to consume it, from what source does he feed from?
Ponies.
You know, you're a lot like us.
He's a changeling, Trixie.
He's not like us.
Not like everyone.
Do you know who Twilight Sparkle is?
No.
Which is more unusual? Trixie proselytizing the word of Sparkle, or someone in Equestria who doesn't know the main 6 already by season 7?
And I used to be a dictator who...
This is the only time the word dictator is ever used in the show.
Yeah.
How odd that Starlight calls herself one in hindsight, but no pony gives that label to any of the many other absolute rulers, especially Thorax's dictatorship.
Well, Operation Lead Mall Wharf Away is coming along.
Important development is off-screen because it would have been too cool for us to see, apparently.
But then I feel like I'd be living a lie. It's very brave of you to share something so personal. Does anyone else have similar concerns?
Does anyone else have similar concerns we can quickly dismiss and ignore? Sunburst isn't in this episode. Or is he?
Craft time has given me such a creative outlet.
This is definitely Sunburst's voice, and this definitely proves he's a changeling in disguise. What's more powerful? Overwhelming support of the entire population to banish Pharynx, or the power of nepotism in a dictatorship? Pharynx presents his argument better than the other changelings and offers very practical solutions to their problems. Then, for some reason, this is Starlight's reaction.
I think Pharynx is a lost cause.
This is out of character for her on multiple levels. Of course, it's very in character for Trixie to use changeling racial slurs.
Bad bug.
Starlight and Trixie have this big long discussion about recommending Thorax banish his brother, and we get this dramatic scene where they approach him with the suggestion.
He's hugging
However,
his chair.
all of this is less than a minute after every other changeling demands his banishment to Thorax's face. It's like Starlight and Trixie started reading from a different version of the script where this recommendation was going to be a new concept for him to ponder, and not the easiest, most obvious thing. Dummy stuffing is white one moment, green the next. Remember that lame subplot about Thorax being special because he was just born different and he never had to learn or grow as a character because of it? Yeah, let's bring that back.
Look at the little grub playing with his dollies.
How fitting for them to be looking at the camera while addressing the bronies watching. If baby changelings can turn into anything, why are they still babies? Of all the silly things they can't put on television because, think of the children, this trope is probably the most likely to have imitation.
Why are you hitting yourself? Stop hitting yourself! Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah.
Side note, broadcast standards and practices actually did comment on this, as seen in the leaks. And they said it's fine, as long as the face isn't hit. Apparently, children get free reign on body hits when it comes to assault.
They're right, you know. You need to have tougher skin.
Even though neither of us have skin. This might be the only time a character has ever shouted out loud to themselves and actually received a helpful answer.
We'll just use one problem to solve another.
Politics. Instead of this long and convoluted rambling, it would have been nice if Starlight used some kind of demonstration, some kind of non-diegetic visual, or just anything else that shows the plan instead of tells it. Kind of like all the other ideas which were sins in the past. Sin counter always wins. Also, Starlight's exposition plan dumping can be heard by these nearby changelings, but they don't even react, at least not until the commercial break cliffhanger demands it.
One of the changelings said Pharynx left the hive for good.
Citation needed, Trixie. Of course, one of the most pivotal plot points of the episode happens off-screen. It also would have simply been too cool for us to see. Once Starlight realizes she made a mistake and doesn't want to bait the monster here, she has two options. She can magically teleport the bait, thus averting disaster within seconds, or she can leave it where it lies and pretend like there's nothing she could do while apologizing to Thorax for not doing it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Obvious joke about an epic speech not paying off is not only obvious from the start, but also awkwardly has its punchline off-screen, because it's also in the long list of moments that would have been too cool for us to see. This callback to their childhood where he turns into the creature again is nice. If by callback we mean recycling assets from minutes ago, it really is a tragedy how these later seasons treat changelings.
Do kind of feel like overpowered
if they can change antagonists of the show, known for political subterfuge and shapeshifting to anything they want en masse,
even as
have been reduced to mere honeybees throwing themselves at a hornet. Trixie's the only one smart enough in combat situations to try ranged attacks. Anymore. She did defeat an Ursa Major all by herself after all. Reminder that this poor Malwarf did nothing wrong other than eating nearby plants to survive. The day is saved after the creature known for tunneling tunnels away. The odds of it tunneling away and never coming back are about the same as tunneling under the hive in retaliation, but this occasion calls for cheering and celebration anyway.
I loved Pharynx's design.
There's no need to explain what just happened, Trixie. The new changeling designs aren't cool enough to hide, so that one was actually on screen.
Yeah. I thought he was going to say something else.
That looks like
I'm a terrible person.
Pharynx! Get out of here!
It's gone!
Okay.
And our lives are so much better for it.
Wow, so you're both
Thanks for watching. Today is the 11th year anniversary of Cinemersins. I never made any promises about doing videos for the entire show, but here's hoping I'll see you in 5 years for the finale.
11 years?
Or perhaps a lot sooner at the next one.
Okay, I guess this was probably like released a year ago because I remember watching it. Like I remember like I started watching Cinemersins in like when season 3 happened. Actually, I was watching it before then, but like when I had subscribed, the season 3 had just begun. So I'm guessing that was probably about like a year and a half or so, or maybe 2 years. My channel's been going since 2015. I was trying to figure out like what that year difference meant. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the last one. This is Everything Wrong with Daring Done in 3, 2, 1.
Daring Do is a menace who destroys everything she touches.
It is
including
true.
spiderwebs.
What?
For just a single frame, the newspaper seller has the best hearing in all of Equestria.
Morning,
He says Philadelphia instead of Philadelphia.
The station in Philadelphia.
Maybe that's where the portal to Equestria is, and the Parasprites found it first.
Cloudsville election heating up for candidate in favor of cooling it down.
This
Politics.
is the only time we hear about an election in Equestria, other than the student pony president, of course. This is also the only time in the show the word politics is ever used, and that's the real sin.
Politics, Rainbow!
Dash spills Daring Do's
I
secret
like that.
identity loudly in public.
When it's similar to our world, sometimes I like it.
And we all know what retirement is code for in this universe. How very daring of them to change the logo 7 seasons in. They haven't done that since the beginning of the show.
The AK yearling I know would never quit and retire out of the blue.
No, Josh
But she might retire because of the blue she
Out
knows.
of the blue.
Did somebody ransack your cottage again?
Funny how Rainbow Dash remembers that kerfuffle, but Caballeron and his goons act like they don't remember she revealed her identity during that fight.
Then is some pony blackmailing you?
Amazingly, Rainbow Dash figures out the plot of this episode before AK and Daring Do do. Pinky's mane helpfully keeps this newspaper within reach during their entire trip across Equestria, just in case Rainbow Dash wants to use it for plot convenience purposes.
You actually are Daring Do, and that the stories are real.
Rainbow Dash reminds AK Yearling about her secret identity just in case she forgot. You know Dash is getting awfully close to committing a felony when Pinkie Pie has to step in as the voice of reason.
They don't sell my books.
Yeah, she was getting awfully close.
The crux of this episode's
She's
conflict
very
is a
aggressive.
lack of capitalism. If only she could sell more books in more places, then this misunderstanding
Egyptian
would have
ponies.
never happened. Where's a Marzon when you need them?
Wow.
Rainbow Dash grows a second pair of eyelashes.
If it wasn't for her, the entire town of Somnambula would have sunk into the ground.
There's no chance that these ponies don't think you're a hero.
Yeah, but you're biased, Pinkie Pie, considering your family apparently lives right next door and might have sunk along with them.
Oh.
Rainbow Dash immediately recognizes this place from Daring's last book. Presumably, books take at least a couple months to write and distribute, meaning she had plenty of time to return and pay her hotel bill, but she chose not to for some reason. Being the massive fan of the book she is, and having met him in the past, Rainbow Dash should have definitely recognized Caballeron right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was
Cramping her saddle.
obvious.
It's the get on in.
The Get On In. The Sphinx is a
Get On
mysterious antagonist which makes
The
arbitrary
Get On In, the
demands
Get
and
On In,
random
Get It
riddles.
On, and get
Maybe
to
the
sleep.
Sphinx is actually just Discord in disguise, having a bit of fun. Explaining anything which doesn't make sense as being Discord is right in line with this episode's moral of hope. The riddle is vague enough to have any number of correct
also what they did
answers.
in the finale.
Hope, yes, but also the moon, the concept of knowledge, love, quantum physics, and darkness itself. Town's ponies flip-flop between agreeing with her
I like
and
that green
booing
there.
within seconds. Considering how public opinion is central to this episode's plot, you'd think it'd be about more than just who has the last word. Caballeron reveals himself for no reason. Then exposition dumps most of his plan, also for no reason. However, he's very careful to leave out the parts of his plan which explain why he does the things he does next. He says
And
he
this
can't let her
happens
expose his plan,
in
but he's also the one who
complete
told her the
daylight.
plan. He kidnaps her to bait Daring, but nothing happens to her when she arrives. Maybe he's actually
Please
just
point that
Discord
out.
in disguise,
It's
having
obvious,
a bit of
I know,
fun.
but, like-
Rainbow Dash could have easily flown away and evaded capture. Instead, we hard
That
cut to her
too.
already being tied up and blinded. Episode hinges upon characters being helpless, blind dum-dums.
No!
He's got Rainbow Dash.
At least Dash could claim she was caught off guard. Daring Do and Pinky, on the other hoof, just stand here.
They just
20
watch
feet
the
away
entire
and
thing
watch
happen.
helplessly. Chasing a speeding Rainbow Dash or a terrified donkey is easy peasy cheesy. But for some reason, Pinky becomes uncharacteristically slower than a group of thugs dragging Dash against her will. Using binoculars with giant cartoon eyes is the bravest thing Daring Do in the entire episode.
Oh. No, not the green boot, not the green goo.
This is what happens when Pinky spends too much time around Dash. Her Pinky sense rubs off on her, and Rainbow Dash can sense ponies without seeing or hearing them. Or maybe Dash let herself get into this situation because she is secretly Discord in disguise, having a bit of fun. Also, Daring could still be in disguise as AK Yearling for all Dash knows.
Daring Do? Is that you? No!
If my previous plan didn't cause you to give up, Daring Do, And the shame of losing your dear friend.
Wait a minute. Does that mean that you know that AK Yearling is daring
to murder Rainbow Dash with Gak just for the sake of discouraging
I thought she was still in her.
Why not just murder Daring Do? He knows where she lives, after all. Cabaleron is putting way more hope in this half-baked plan than Somnambula needed to become a legend. Maybe they should build a statue of him. Also, killing Rainbow Dash is a terrible plan that would probably have the opposite effect and motivate Daring Do to fight back even more. Also, murder.
It's meant to, like,
for kids. Everything about this episode's third act stinks so bad, Cabaleron's nostrils even disappeared.
For enough time.
There'll be no flying in the pyramid.
This line about the mysterious plot convenience magic preventing flight reeks of an episode nearly finished before some intern at the studio pointed out the fact Pegasi should be able to fly over the trap. Thankfully, you can patch over any plot hole with contrived ancient magic. Also, how does he even know the legend is true? It's not like any pony on his crew could test it out. Maybe the real reason Daring can't fly in here is because her wings disappeared.
Well, that's true. He never had a
strong
Pegasus
enough to
on
move
his,
this 1,000-ton rock
Fluttershy.
slab. But also, why did he bother with the slab if they can't fly and the front door is still wide open anyway? Daring Do becomes a panicked child and doesn't even try to analyze the situation like an action hero.
What are we gonna do?
Knocking down a pillar to use as a bridge, or finding some other clever trick would be very fitting considering she's normally so confident and capable. But then again, that is how she writes herself in her own real-life fanfictions.
Pinkie!
Pinkie Pie leaps to her death for no reason. There is no other explanation here. She just couldn't bear the thought of going on living without Rainbow Dash. Daring Do also takes a blind leap of faith like Pinkie, except Daring can see Pinkie and watch how she landed. The only thing that made it a blind leap of faith for Daring is her decision to cover her eyes for no reason. Episode hinges upon characters being helpless, blind dum-dums, or being Discord in disguise, having a bit of fun. Take your pick. This is what happens when AK Yearling goes too long without wearing her glasses. Her animation mask layer becomes visible, and her irises fall out. The resolution to this story is that the thugs expose themselves by mistake, as opposed to Daring doing anything even remotely heroic. Instead of confessing for absolutely no reason, Cabaleron could have just said he was bringing the stones back. He would become a hero to the town. But no, episodes gotta wrap up no matter the cost of characters' competence. Moral of the episode is all about not losing hope when you make mistakes, and the importance of making things right. Even though the montage where she makes things right hasn't even happened yet. It's putting the cart before the horse, but not the apple cart, because that one's still broken. Now that the obligatory moral is out of the way, we see the true moral play out. You can solve any problem and correct any mistake if you have enough money. Heroes wanted. Poor ponies need not apply.
Just throw some money their way and they'll forget all about it. That's what DWK said.
Easy peasy cheesy.
Ooh, Spark?
Oh no. Don't do this to us.
You're right. Which way did they go?
Oh fuck. Alright. Yeah. That was great. Yeah, because the Daring Do one, the Daring Done episode, there is like the fact that all of that happened in broad daylight, and they could have seen Cabaleron like clearly capturing Dash when there's a bunch of ponies around, and then even including Pinkie and Daring Do, who could have stopped it. Rainbow herself could have stopped it. It was stupid. But yeah, that's really all I got. This is a good set of videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and comment, subscribe, like the video. I'll see if I can try to say that more often. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you, safe, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye.